Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Cape Conversations. I have a great guest today, and he's going to tell us all about maybe our new bike path in Sandwich. What an exciting subject, as somebody who rides a bike. So come along, and let's have another Cape Conversation. I am very excited today to be sitting here with Woody Mitchell, a great guy. I know him from first night. You know him because he's a man about town. And we're going to talk about all kinds of things, including a bike path and maybe a run for a special office. Hello, Woody Mitchell.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome to Cape Conversation.
Thank you. Seen a lot of them on the net, and it's exciting.
Well, good. You're supposed to see them in the middle of the night when you can't sleep.
Oh.
That's my highest audience. What are you talking about?
I get up at 3 in the morning.
Oh, okay. So, Woody, tell me.
Yes.
I know that how long have you lived here in Sandwich?
My wife and I have lived here for 12, 13 years.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I just thought you were like new to Sandwich.
No, we've been here for a while.
You have. And so what have you been doing? Because I just met you like a year ago. You've been hiding out somewhere? Or?
Yeah, well, we've been slowly getting involved more and more in town every year.
Right.
We rented our house for a year, then we bought it. We love the town, so we bought our house and we made it our home.
Yeah.
We live over off Race Lane,
yeah.
And slowly, so the first couple of years I was involved with some odds and ends. I was trustee for our association and so forth over and then we slowly just started getting more and more. So I picked up the Zoning Board of Appeals. I worked with the Zoning Board of Appeals for a couple of years. It was kind of weird. I went from an alternate to the vice chair to the chair in about a year and a half. So,
welcome to Sandwich, small town America.
So, and then I also took on the Cape Cod Commission, and which has been really nice. I really enjoy that. As a matter of fact, my term is up for renewal. So I became secretary, and now I'm serving as vice chair. And next year I hope to step up to be chair.
Oh, excellent. So, and I want to talk about a lot of other things, but the commission is changing a little bit, I've heard, or could be changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still out there. It's still working.
Yeah.
We've got some things going on,
right.
So it's exciting to be a part of that also.
Oh, that's excellent, excellent. And that's kind of a broader Cape view.
That's regional.
Yeah.
When I'm appointed to the commission, I basically step aside, and that's for the entire Cape. I really don't talk to anybody about that. My opinion is my own. It's what I feel is best for the Cape, and and of course I always try to think about Sandwich and so forth.
Right.
It's kind of a running joke with the committee that whenever there's something going on in Mashpee or Bourne or something, they call me, and I jump right in there, and I want to be a part of the subcommittees and so forth and keep things moving.
Sure. That's great. Well, you probably have a lot about Mashpee Commons that comes across your plate. I know because I worked there for 16 years, so I know all about it, and I still am fortunate enough to be friends with those folks. So anyway, but that's one of the reasons why we're here to talk to you. But the other reason is you've got a bike path. Who would have thunk a bike path in Sandwich?
Well, it's
and you're a bicyclist, right?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I used to weigh well over 300 pounds.
No.
Yes, and
look how great he looks. We all need some of his stuff, whatever you're drinking.
Well, my wife and I did it together, and one of the ways we did it was by biking.
Wonderful.
And so we'd go down to the canal and we'd bike. And about a year and a half ago, we started wondering why does the canal end? And
right there.
It's done.
Yeah.
So you take your bike down and you pedal and you're done.
Right.
So
in my case, though, for somebody who lives in the village, you take your life in your hands to ride your bike to the bike path.
Well, we're working on that.
That's right. So that's what we want to talk about.
So about a year ago in April, we started an ad hoc committee. And I talked to everyone in town that I could and said, what do you think about a bike committee? Because 9 towns on the Cape had bike committees, but we didn't.
Right.
And it didn't make a lot of sense that it ended, because if you're going to get off this Cape, you're going to come through Sandwich.
Right.
So let's bike it.
Right.
So we started talking about it, and we slowly worked at it, and we started an ad hoc committee. And I basically pulled people around from town that I had met and I'd known and that were excited about it, and we started an ad hoc committee, and we started out with us, and we just slowly got the support, and it kept building, and it kept building, and it kept building. So we have a representative from the selectmen, we have representatives from the planning department, representative from the engineering department, and we have Lee and Kevin and Amanda and myself have been there for a long time. And December, we became an official town committee, which was extremely exciting for us, which we needed to do because we're looking at not only stopping with what we're doing now, but we're looking at the future. And to be able to pull grants and to be able to ask for money and to be able to represent the town, we need to be an official committee. I mean, we're looking at a master plan that we'd like to slowly evolve and get implemented.
Would that master plan hook to other communities?
Yes.
Oh, that's
but it's
great.
mainly about Sandwich.
Right.
So we need a master plan because we'd like to work towards becoming a bike-friendly town.
Right.
Which is an official,
Yeah.
And there are some in Massachusetts, but, they're bigger towns, like Milton and towns like that.
Right.
So we're looking to, this is our goal. But we started small. So what we started off with originally was to get from the canal to the historical district. And we thought we can do that. And so we walked it, and we rode it, and we found a way that we think. If we come up Freezer Road and come down Tupper Road, but we have no money. So how are we going to do this? The biggest challenge in Sandwich is the fact that you have to work with the existing roads and what you have.
Right, and 6A is historic, so you can't do anything.
Correct. And Freezer Road is limited.
Right.
So here's the challenge. So we also looked at connecting up to the other bike trail on the other side, and we thought the canal, and we would come down there. And so what we did was we came up Freezer Road, and we came down Tupper Road. Now there's an intersection there right across Tupper Road across 6A. And it's got a traffic lights and everything for it, but it's really bad.
Yeah, it's bad for bikes.
Yes.
It's even bad for people walking.
Yeah, if you're not a sprinter,
right,
you're not going to make it.
Right, and you can't connect to the other, even walking, you can't connect crossing 6A to a real sidewalk.
No.
Unless you go up over through the driveway of the building that is there, the businesses.
So you've been on that corner.
I've been on that corner a lot.
So you know the problem.
I know the problem.
So what we decided to do was, working with Paul Tilton, DPW, we're going to work on that traffic light, that pedestrian system there. We're going to improve it. We're going to come across 6A, and now instead of going down Tupper Road, we can't. If you go down Tupper Road and try to ride a bike through there, you're weaving and bobbing, and
right.
It's not good. And then also, so what we decided to do was come down 6A, which is already a designated bike route, use our signage, and then take a right onto Jarves.
Okay.
Now, when you hit Jarves, we're going to use Sharons, which are traffic indicators that go into the road that we're going to share that road.
And this is on Jarvis?
It's on Jarves.
With all those cars parked on both sides of the street?
Yes.
Okay.
But we're hoping, I mean, it's the best way.
No, I understand. I'm answering the questions because people are going to say, well, they can't use Jarvis. There's too many cars on there.
Yes.
Of course, if they made it a rule that you could only park on one side or the other, it would help.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And we have to work with what we have.
Right.
One of our problems. So we're going to put Sharons in the road, which are traffic indicators, and those roads will be shared by bikes and by traffic.
And what about 6A? Is there going to be a bike lane?
There will be a bike. There's an existing bike lane already on 6A.
There is?
Yes. Yeah.
It seems so narrow.
It will be brought forth. We will work on that to make it clear.
Right.
And we're going to be putting
with a little
signage.
bike indicator on it. So, in the middle, how they always, if you go into Boston, they have bike lanes that have a little bike guy, a guy on a bike,
right,
on the lane itself.
We're limited to what we can do on 6A because it's historical.
Sorry. Okay.
So we're going to be using signage. We've got signage set up that we'll be using, which are the green signs. We'll be using indicator arrows, and we'll be taking people, traffic and showing them. We hope to put a major sign at the beginning of the canal to show what's out there,
right,
what's available.
So if I'm coming down the canal, I get to the restrooms.
Yes.
I leave, and I'm still on the bike path, and now I'm going out, and I'm going around where they do all the boats.
No, you're going straight up Freezer Road.
Straight up Freezer Road.
To Tupper.
To Tupper, okay.
And then you're going to cross across Tupper and keep going down.
Okay, I gotcha.
So at that point, we'll have signage and everything, and we'll have a signage at the beginning of the canal that tells you this is the path that we recommend for you. And
Right.
we're gonna have a path drawn out on the plat, and we're gonna show people where things are, like bathrooms and
Yeah.
restaurants.
Oh, great.
And so it will bring them into the historical area of
Okay.
Sandwich. So we'll come up Jars, we'll come down Main, and there's a little area right on River Street where they used to come out of the Town Hall Annex, which is all paved. We're going to put bike racks there, and we're going to kind of make that a central place.
Oh, wonderful.
And then the idea is to continue down River, because the views down River Street are
Are beautiful,
spectacular.
yeah.
If you've ever stood there and just looked out towards the island, Brady's, and just it's beautiful. So then we're going to come down River. Now we're going to come down Tupper on the other side, which is a lot safer, and just make that circle back to the canal.
I see. Oh, I see. Great.
Phase one.
Phase one.
Phase one.
So what about the gas lines and a bike path on the service road?
Phase three.
Okay, so I missed a phase. Oopsie.
You did.
Watch
you
out.
did. Because I'm in the historical district of town. How am I going to get from there to...
You mean we all call it affectionately the hysterical district, you know. Anyway,
So what we're going to do is we've also got on the plan, we've already mapped out an idea to come up, and we don't want to come down Route 130 because it's a very traveled area. So what we want to do is come up behind the wing school and then come into Route 130. That's the plan. Our first stage will be implemented this spring. So people will be able to do the bike path for this spring.
wonderful.
And then phase two will probably be another year. And then phase three will be
And that'll take you from
that will take
Sandwich-
us from the historical district,
Yeah.
or hysterical, depending on who you're talking to
Just kidding you.
to the service road,
Okay,
where construction is now being done on the gas line.
right.
We've been able to petition, we got letters, we got support. We've been able to petition to the Department of Transportation, working with the Department of Public Works in town, to be able to put a bike path over where the gas line is.
Right.
And that is stage three. And that will go from 130 all the way to 132.
Which would be fabulous.
Which will finally connect up, because work is going on now in Yarmouth, and it will actually connect. So we will actually have a bike path going from the canal all the way to Provincetown.
So now, my other question is, on the other side of the Cape, on the
Yes.
Mashpee side, Mashpee's bike path, which is gorgeous, by the way,
Yes.
which ends on one town side down towards Falmouth, it ends
Yes.
on 28, and then on the other side it's on 130.
Correct.
It ends just shy of the base where they fly in the helicopters.
And this
stuff
will
at the base.
this will be how we will incorporate and look to a master plan for the town.
I see.
To be able to connect up 130, coming by whatever will be at
Right.
the Golden Triangle,
Right.
whatever finally is there,
Whatever it turns out to
whatever,
be.
and coming straight up and connecting to their bike trail.
I see.
Okay, and then we also hope to be able to do something more down Route 6A to get the children and so forth that want to ride their bikes to school.
Right.
And so, this is where the master plan will come into
Right.
effect. But right now, we're working with no money.
Right.
We're a new committee in town.
Yeah.
We're not even on the website yet. So right now, we're working with what we have, which is zero.
Right.
Paul Tilton from the DPW has been able to, he has offered to pay for the signage and for the labor to get the bike trail done. We're working with the Cape Cod Commission, who is going to has a free bike program, bike rack program. So we're going to be able to put bike racks around town. And we're doing all this with nothing.
Yeah. Good
Now,
for
a
you.
master plan is not a nothing. But what we hope to do is build on that, build on what we've done,
Sure.
and then prove to the town and prove to the area that
It can be done.
it can be done.
Right. Well, now, I guess my question goes back to, though, on 6A, you
Yeah.
say there is a bike lane. I know there's sidewalks on both sides because
It's-
I use the sidewalk.
Yeah, there's an area next to the sidewalk area that is
It's called the bike lane.
Yeah, it's a designated bike lane.
I see. And they may or may not make it a little bit wider. don't know.
We will not be able to make it wider due to the
I
fact
see.
that it's a historical and
But it could be marked so that people know
Yes.
that it's a bike lane.
Yes.
I would never have known it was a bike lane.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that indicates bike lane.
It's interesting, when we were first walking around and getting out the word about the bike committee, I went to a couple of committees and I was like, hey, we're trying to do this, we're trying to get this going, what can we do? And I got a question one time. Somebody said to me, well, you know what, who's gonna answer the questions about this, and who's gonna answer the questions about bike, and I said, who's answering that now?
Right.
If without a bike committee, we don't have anybody to step up and try to answer those questions.
Right. And the Chamber of Commerce, as far as visitors, that's their job. If you give them all the information,
Right.
which you will do because it would be in your own best interest.
Well, we've been talking to Jay. Jay's going to put a bike out in front of bike rack out in front of the new.
Oh, that's great.
In front of the new
Yeah, sure.
tourist center.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and as a matter of fact, I'm going to talk to the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow morning.
Oh, wonderful.
So
Good.
we'll be laying that out for them.
Good. That's terrific. So it's a three-pronged plan,
Yes.
and so
You jump from 1 to 3.
three, and then you went back and picked up 2. So
Yes.
explain 2 one more time. So 1 is from the canal around to the village center,
Correct.
and then 2 is from
The village center to Route 130.
to Route 130.
And then the final phase 3 of our current plan, is to go down 130 and to connect up to the town line and continue on to 132,
That's amazing.
which we have been.
Although there are so many hills on that.
Well, that was one of the things
You'll have good thighs if you ride that.
I was talking to Paul Tilton about this yesterday or the day before, and he said that they're working right now on doing some possible slope changes, cutting into some of the state area there. So we're hoping to be able to do that during the construction of the gas
Right.
pipe, because then it's on their dime,
Right.
not our dime.
Right.
And then we're also working to get the National Grid to work with us and
Sure.
lay out that. Some of those areas are kind of swoopy.
Yeah.
And we're looking to put some fill in there and work on
Right.
that, so it's not so, because we're not just a bike committee, we're also a pedestrian committee.
Sure.
And
we are.
a walker is not going to do that.
No.
So
no.
we're working with that.
I
right
might as a
now.
bike rider because I like to go fast down and then it gets me
But
up.
then you got to get up.
I know, but if you're going fast enough down, you can get up. That's what I found.
I had tried that, and sometimes
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yes.
The best thing that I can say about Service Road, and that's where everybody's really excited about.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But that's 2 years down the road for
right.
me, for our committee. But the best thing about it is twofold. Number one is that we have the support from federal government, state government, town government, regional, the Cape Cod Commission, the DP. People want to see this. And I think we as a town want to see this too.
Well, I think everybody, towns across the nation are doing this. This
Yes.
is nothing new.
No.
In fact, we're kind of behind the times that it hasn't been done already.
9 were already existing before us, and
Right.
we had some really strong bike
And
committees.
that's just on the Cape. I'm
Yes.
talking about elsewhere in the
Elsewhere.
world, you know?
Yep. And the second portion of this is the fact that we're able to take that area that's been a major problem and turn it into something useful. And people first came up to me and said, you're crazy. You're never going to get a bike path down this, because they're not going to do it. They're going to stop you. They're not going to let you have it. And then now I'm hearing people come up to me and say, you know what, I can see a bike path.
Oh, that's great.
I can see that now. I can see what you were talking about. So it's like, yes, thank you. So help us do it.
Yes,
So-
yes. Put up or shut up, for heaven's sake.
So
Oh, that's wonderful. Well,
Yes.
that's terrific. So I know you're on the first night committee too.
yes,
And actually, he was our sponsor czar and brought in tons and tons of money. Well, not tons and tons, but enough money so we could put on fireworks and all kinds of great things.
did our
which
part.
It was fun, great fun.
it's part of Patty and I. We love to get involved. We bought our home in town, and we just dedicated ourselves to the town. And we like to get integrated into the town and really get involved. And I got to say, I love my wife to death, because she allows me to do things that she knows that some weeks I'm not home, but one night out of the week.
Yeah,
but we
well.
always make sure we have dinner and have fun together.
Yeah.
But there come times where we really get involved, and she helped me out with that, and we did that together.
And maybe she likes you being out of the house just a couple of nights a week. Then she can watch her TV shows, she can read her books, she can do what she wants to do.
So it sounds to me like you've experienced it.
Oh yeah. You know, my husband always, I think he doth protest too much because I go, no, please don't go. Please don't go when I'm out every night of the week. So
drop the TV dinner and go.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, but I also know that you've pulled papers and you are running for town clerk. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you're running for town clerk. I'll ask you the same question I would ask Taylor White.
Okay.
Why in the heck are you running for town clerk?
You know what? That's a question that my wife and I have been pondering for 4 months.
Is that right?
We started looking at this a while ago, and it's more of a twofold situation for us. We wanted to become deeper into the town and make a commitment to the town. And when I say that, it's a big commitment because I'm going to be taking a huge pay cut in my salary to do this job.
Where do you work now, Woody?
I work over in Martha's Vineyard.
Wow.
I work for a company called...
You commute?
Every day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, every day. Some days a lot more fun than others. But I work for a company that builds homes, and we also build community buildings, and we build commercial buildings. Mm-hmm. So it's a multi-million-dollar company, mm-hmm. and it's a lot of fun because every day you go in, it's a different challenge.
Oh, sure.
You never know what's going to do it. But I do the administrative end of things. Mm-hmm. I do the permitting. I do the dealing with the boards. I do the things that put us out there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think I'm the president of the company, and I'm like, no, he's over there.
And it's located on Martha's Vineyard. How weird is that? I would think it would be in Chicago or Boston or...
Last year, we did a $3 million project for a assisted living facility to get people, drug addicts and so forth, that have redeemed themselves back into the community, and it gives them a place to live. Mm-hmm. We built an 18-unit men's building, and 9...
And where did you build these?
It's in Vineyard Haven.
Oh, is that right? So you build on the vineyard?
We are modular.
Wow.
We do modular homes.
Wow.
So we actually load the homes. They're built in Wingdo, New York. They come over in a barge. They come across, and we actually put them together.
There goes that house.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, how cool is that?
It's an experience, and it's something. It's a lot of fun because people drive by in the morning and they see a foundation. They come by at night and there's a house there. And it's like,
well,
wow.
I have to tell you, and I think I might have shared this with you before. My oldest son his family live in South Kingstown, Rhode Island, mm-hmm. and they decided they bought a beautiful piece of property on top of a big hill. And they went through builders and all this, and they decided to do a modular home. It is the most gorgeous, and it's a big farmhouse. They built it like a farmhouse with a big porch on the front. It is gorgeous. It is solar. It is geothermal heat. Oh, yeah. It is, the walls are probably this thick, much better than a stick house.
Well, you have to.
It's just incredible. Yeah. Gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful.
Well, the best part about us is we are a lead builder. We build energy efficient homes, mm-hmm. and the project that we just did, the one I was mentioning, mm-hmm. the Vineyard House, actually got a LEED Gold certification, which is one of the first on Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So we're extremely proud of that.
That's great. So that's what you do now.
That's what I do.
And we're going to leave all that success, and you want to become town clerk.
I want to become town clerk. I think my administrative skills, I think my involvement with the community, I think that allows me to be able to have a unique perspective on the town, mm-hmm. and my involvement with the town. Mm-hmm. You see me at all the events. We keep busy. We love to be busy. Yeah. Our children's gone, and we have a grandson now, so that's great. But we like to keep busy. We like to be integrated, and I think that this will allow me to go from a volunteer status to an administrative status in town, and to be able to continue on with what I think is important.
And obviously you've done research on what a town clerk does, so you have all that down.
Oh, yes.
And what do you think about doing all that? I mean, there's like 197 different things, I think.
There's a lot of things, and I think it's all up my alley.
Yeah?
I think my administrative, and come back to that, because I think it's an administrative job. You have two two employees that work with you, Susan and Linnea, and they're both excellent. I've known Susan for years. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to be a great challenge. I think there's things I would like to try to bring into the office. I think the improvements, Barbara, that was in the office for years and years and years.
100 years.
Yes. Barbara had a really good communication and good integration with the town.
Oh, a sense of community, bar none.
Yes. And I think the current town clerk, what he's done is been able to take, she was old school.
Right.
He's been able to take that and modernize it.
Right.
Okay? I don't take that, nothing away from that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good. It's whoever took that job was going to need to do that.
Right.
And I think it's been done. I think what I do is bridge those two gaps. I think I have that community relationship, and I think I also have the technology and the knowledge to put those two together. And I think it makes me the best ideal candidate for the job. And so that's part of the reason. I know that the current town clerk really doesn't attend department head meetings. He really doesn't. He kind of distanced himself off from that, which I think is a loss. I think you have to have that team building relationship. I don't think anybody can go off on their own and do this. And it's a town. And so I'm hoping to put all that back into place.
I see. Great. Well, wonderful. Yes. Well, you have a lot on your plate, sir.
Yes.
You have a lot on your plate. So you have a kickoff coming up, I guess?
Yes. We're going to be at the British Beer Company on 6A, March 5th. And that will be from 2 to 6 o'clock. We're going to be having free food, cash bar. And I bring in my most powerful weapon.
And that would be?
My grandson will be there.
Your new is he new or?
He is going to be 2 years old.
Oh my goodness!
So we're going to celebrate the kickoff party, and then we're going to celebrate his second birthday.
Oh, how fabulous is that?
So yeah,
that's fabulous. So, that's great.
I beam talking about him and my wife more than I beam for anything else.
That's great.
So,
well, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Well, you should be beaming about the bike path, because if you can figure this out and you get this done, at least the first part this year, and then the second part in year 2 or 3, and then in 4 or 5, the third part that really integrates all of our bike paths with all the rest of the Cape. How wonderful would that be?
I'm going to say this bike path and this bike committee is not just me. We've had Amanda, we've had Kevin Surratt, we've had Lee Rehnquist, Amanda Sullivan, who have been there and are part of this committee. We've had other people. Bill Burbank's been a part of it. We've also had Daryl Crossman's been a part of it. We've had help from the planning department. It's been really a labor of love for all of us.
Oh, that's great.
And I know that I'm the one that everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you're the bike guy." Well, yes.
What a great name, the bike guy.
Yes, but
Woody the bike guy.
Yeah. But it's really been a really great, and I think we've accomplished more as an ad hoc committee than a lot of committees have accomplished in town in years, and we're really proud of that.
That's great. Woody, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
I really, really appreciate it. Good luck in the race. Good luck with the bike path, and I want to meet that grandson.
Thank you.
All righty. Wow, that Woody Mitchell. He is something else. What a great idea. A bike path in Sandwich. Who would have thunk of it? I think it's great. And I bet you do too. And he's going to run for town clerk. How exciting is that? We'll have a little bit of a real election for that office. And that's always a good thing. So I'm glad you came along today with me, and I look for you the next time on Cape Conversation.